That's what it all boils down to. If there is no respect, but they have to respect themselves before they can respect myself or you or anyone in authority. They have to have that respect for themselves. And I told myself many times, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, yes, sir, no, sir, will get you in places money may never. It's all in how you address
You can't
someone.
buy the respect.
You can't buy it.
Cannot buy respect. I'm Ricky Willis. You might have seen me on TV, and now I'm taking on the podcast world. Join me as we dive into stories of ordinary people doing extraordinary things. I believe everyone has a story we can learn from. Let's talk about yours. This is the Clever Conversations podcast. What's going on, baby? It's your man, Clever. You know, Clever Conversations, man. And so today, I have the absolute pleasure of being here with Miss Adams. Miss Adams, how are you?
I am absolutely marvelous. Thank you for asking, and yourself.
Listen, if I complain, it's not going to be the truth. If I complain, it's going to be a lie. I have nothing to complain about. Life is beautiful.
Absolutely. Yes.
So listen, thank you. You're such a busy lady, busy. Thank you for taking your time out and coming and chopping it up with us a little bit.
Well, I want to say thank you for asking me and inviting me to come and be on your show. I consider this an honor from me.
No, I am. The honor is mine, definitely, because I'm sitting here with a legend, and so many people heard of you and they know some of your story. And just for me to be able to pick up the phone and call you, so I'm honored for that. You up my stock.
Wow.
So if you don't mind, if you could tell the people a little bit about who Miss Adams is and just kind of a little bit of who you are.
Well, my name is Deborah Adams. He calls me Mrs. Adams, but Mrs. Adams was my mother-in-law. I am Deborah Adams, and yes, I am the wife of former Mayor Floyd Adams Jr. I am a product of Savannah, Georgia, and the Savannah-Chatham County Public School System. I also now teach in the Savannah-Chatham County Public School System. I feel as if it was good enough for me, it should be good enough for our children as well. I love Savannah just like my husband did. I have 6 brothers, no sisters. Both my parents are deceased. Like I said, I love Savannah and I love people. I am a people person. I love children, which is why I am back in the school system after being retired for a couple of years. I just felt like I just had something else to give back to the community and wanted to do that.
Listen, and we are so grateful. And since you touched on it a little bit, the late Mr. Floyd Adams was Savannah's. It's history. If you could tell the people if you don't, I know we finna kick it, but if you could tell the people a little bit who he was and what his stamp was on the city, that'd be great. Because a lot of people just don't know the legacy-ness that I'm sitting across from.
Floyd Adams was Savannah's 63rd mayor. He was the first African-American mayor for the city of Savannah.
First.
The very first. He served 2 terms.
96 to 03?
Yes. And his second term when he ran unopposed because no one felt like he could do what he has done, what he put in place. And he was a people person. He met even though he wore a shirt and tie most of the times, wherever he met people, that's where he met them at. He met them where they were. There was no person that was bigger than he is, no person that was smaller than he was. He was genuine. He was a God's people. He was a person for God's people. And he was here for that time, for that purpose. And I feel as if he served the city very well. Even though many wanted him to run again, it was not as easy this third time around. But he put a stamp wherever he placed his feet. He worked, he was on the school board. So he was all about the children. Again, he loved children, and we're crazy about our grands and our great-grands, but they felt like he spent more time with other children than he did with them. And I had to convince him that was not granding. He loved you all, but you have to remember, we have to share him. I have to share him, and you have to share him as well.
And that part, having a husband in in such a powerful position with so much being pulled and tugged, and with you being busy and you doing your thing. How was it to navigate okay, this is this time, this is this time, this is our time, this is the kids' time, how was that process to be able to navigate that?
Trust me, it wasn't easy. We had to put in our time wherever we could. Yes, we spent a lot of evenings after a long day of work. I felt like I had to paint a smile on in order to go to a meeting, to a meet and greet, to a dinner with those who wanted to see him. And unfortunately, a lot of times people say, well, they want to see you. They don't care about me. I said, that's not true. I said, that is not true. Maybe they want to see me. They want to make sure that I am real. But yes, we had to carve out time in order to spend time with each other. And we could go out of the city, out of the state, and somewhere in the airport, Mayor Adams. I said, we on the other side of the world. And someone already is hollering your name. He said, well, the same with children. I said, those are children in our city. But we're on the other side of the United States. They're hollering Mayor Floyd Adams. I said, come on.
Well, that's obviously means that he's been putting memories in people's head,
Absolutely.
I remember you guys had the magazine. I mean the newspaper.
The Herald, Savannah Herald.
The Herald. And I remember meeting him back then, and he was just such a joy. I am a people person. I love people. Mm-hmm. I can get along with anybody. Mm-hmm. And when I met him, I was like, yo, this man is cool. Plus, he's showing me that I could do. Absolutely. That I could do.
And you are.
Thank you. Thank you. So you retired, but teaching?
Yes.
How does that... So you retired?
I did.
And then you was like, you know what? You got me right here. The children need me.
And that's what I really believe, that even though I feel as if the children are different from when I was actually in the classroom, but I still feel as if I can make a difference on one. If I can make that positive impact on one, then I felt like I've done my job. Yeah. I'd like to impact more, but if I can reach one and show them the way that there is a real world outside of the walls where you are, right, and that this world is not for you, but it's about what you can put into it and what can you give back to it.
Right.
Get your education. Get your education. That's my main focus, is that education is prime these days. And with what we're going to be faced with, our children have to be ready. They have to be, better than ready, because it's a mean world out there that's not going to chew them up. It's going to swallow them whole if they're not careful.
And when you was talking about education, a lot of people, I feel, and again, this is just Ricky's view, I don't feel like a lot of people really get and grasp that concept that you gotta have some education. Absolutely. You gotta, I think it's, you gotta be able to talk to people. You gotta be able to, I like to say that I try to mold myself to be able to fit anywhere from the block to the boardroom. So I could put on some Timberlands, a hoodie, and saggy jeans and chop it up with those guys. Or I could put on a nice suit and timepiece and talk to the people in the boardroom.
Absolutely.
You got to be educated enough to be able to do that. And sometimes I think I make up words, but whatever. So,
well, you do a good job of making up words. But I feel as if our children have that foundation of being able to read, they can do a lot of things.
Right.
They can read their way through with some kind of understanding as to what to do. I like what you said, boy, from the block to the boardroom. Yes, you have to meet people where they are. Everyone is not going to be up here, but everyone's not down here either.
Facts. And the whole, it takes a village too, right? So I sometimes when I'm talking to like young guys and they be like, they use this, what I call an excuse. And I'm not saying that it is true. I'm just saying this is what I call an excuse. Well, I didn't have a father. I didn't grow up with my father. That's why I said you had a male figure somewhere. Because you had a teacher, you had an uncle, the trash man, the male. It was some male figure in your life So you can't use, if you're a child and you're using that, I'm kind of lenient a little bit. I'm not really still co-signing on it. But if you're a grown man and you being a knucklehead and you telling me it's because you didn't grow up with a father in your house, to me, that's just garbage, because it was a male figure somewhere. But when we growing up, we don't want to listen to the elders.
Absolutely. And since you mentioned that, there were 7 of us. My father passed away when I was 6 years old. My mother never remarried until my youngest brother graduated high school, my youngest brother. And there were male. Can you imagine raising 6 boys and plus a cousin?
That's
7 boys without a male figure in the house. But like you said, the coaches, the teachers, the principals in the school, they all looked like us. They looked like us. They looked like them. And they did not, like they say, spare the rod with them.
Okay.
They did whatever it took, whatever was necessary. And they listened to them.
Yeah. The thing too, I feel like where my generation is from the generation of respect the elders. Right? I was talking to somebody the other day about like the old days when I walk up the street and if I said something out of pocket in front of Miss Jenkins, my parents gave Miss Jenkins the right to tighten me up. And then I'm going to get home because she had to tighten me up. And you embarrassed me in front of Miss Jenkins. And then is those god-awful words. Wait till your daddy get home. Oh, please just kill me now. Please just take me now. You wait till your daddy get home.
That was the longest wait, wasn't it?
And we respect the elders. You know, we showed respect. We never would I called you by your first name. And I'm 55 years old today with 7 grands. I will never call you by you. If I tried that, my mother's coming out. One of these vents, she's coming out. Daisy is not having that. She is not having that.
But you said the word respect.
Yeah.
That's what it all boils down to. If there is no respect, but they have to respect themselves before they can respect myself or you or anyone in authority. They have to have that respect for themselves. And I told myself many times, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, yes, sir, no, sir, will get you in places money may never. It's all in how you address
You can't
someone.
buy the respect.
You can't buy it.
Cannot buy respect. So let's talk a little bit about some of the differences that you experienced from the first trip around the education system to the second trip around the education system. So where do you see some of the differences in that process?
The first time around, the parents supported you more. You had the support of the parents. I started out teaching at a school in downtown Savannah where the children that I worked with came out of Yamacraw Village. And our principal had this thing that the system said that the children, if they lived within less than a mile of the school, they had to walk. Well, can you imagine walking down down M.L. King Boulevard and all those with all that traffic? She said, no, we walked it, the teachers and the principal, we walked down to Yamacraw. She says, this is unacceptable. We fought and got a bus for them to bring those children to school every day.
They need to be safe too.
Absolutely.
It doesn't so because I live a mile, I have to walk.
Less.
But somebody that live a mile 0.2 can catch the bus.
Yes.
That's just right across the street,
Yes.
right?
Yes. Well, we got 3 buses that would pick them up from different areas. And the parents appreciated that. Whenever they came into the school, they knew who we were. If we had to go down there to a home visit, they knew who we were. The children knew who we were. And they watched over us as if we were kings and queens. But we're just teachers who were concerned about the child.
What you were doing at that point, too, was showing that we're not just talking about this. We are hands-on making a difference. And I'm so sure that if I can talk to a few of the people, they'll just be like, yo, man, Miss Adams, I remember she did. Because a lot of times we don't get or we don't get the due flowers. So with that being said, I am paying homage. I am giving you your flowers because it's not a lot of people that did that. It's not a lot of people that even cared to do it. And it shows that you actually care. You know, it shows that you and that group of people, you know what, we're not just saying it.
But the good thing about it, I get my flowers anytime I see a child that I taught.
What school was it?
I was at Garrison, which is now
That's up under the bridge over there?
Right behind Inmark. Right behind the Inmark.
Okay, yeah.
Service station.
Yeah.
There. And when they see me in the mall, in the grocery store, and they holler at my name, and they come up to me and say, Miss Adams, and that's when they say thank you. So those are my flowers then.
Yeah.
I do get them. And you remember me? Miss Adams, I remember when you did such and such. You told me to go stay. I never put my children out of the room.
Right.
I could not teach them if they were in someone else's room. So if you showed out of my room, this is where you go stand in the corner, get your book, and be ready to learn. So, yes.
I love it.
Yes. I mean, I can't teach you. They fought. I call parents. Okay. They got 2 days of after school detention with me. Well, who's going to pick them up? I says, you are, and you're going to pick them up at 5 o'clock. Otherwise, if I write them up, they're going home for 2 days.
And still can't learn.
And I said, so now they're not learning. Okay, Miss Adams. Yes, ma'am. But you have to find a way that's going to be beneficial to the children. Now, on the flip side of the coin, before we can even think about wanting to do a after school detention, we've got to call the parents. We've got to give them 24 hours notice, and we've got to know how these children are going to get home. Really? So it's a difference there because it seems as if now all the work is being placed back on the teachers.
Right.
As if their plates aren't full enough as it is, with trying to educate them, with trying to make sure that they're getting what they need, because we're already the nurse, the dentist, we're the teacher, we're the counselor, we're the parole officers, we're the mom, we're the dad, we're the grandma, we're the grandfather. We're all those rolled up into one.
For multiple children per day.
Every day. Every day.
Man. So when you guys, in effort to get the bus to pick up those, going through that process, however you guys did to get that done in the past, was there other things that people don't know that you guys put together to do those kind of things? Like, nobody would know. You know what I mean? I would just know that, okay, y'all can get picked up now? Okay, cool. We wouldn't know that it was a group of people, whether it's talking to the school board, whether it's talking to whoever and making that happen. Was it other things that you guys did as well?
Oh, of course. This was before uniforms were in schools. Our children didn't have the necessary clothing to wear to school. They were lacking in coats. They were lacking in socks and underwear. They were lacking those things. And those are needs.
Right.
And those are needs that needed to be met. Those children, if they missed the bus and had to walk to school, we had to make sure breakfast was over. I made sure that there was something, or the school made sure that there was something in those teachers' rooms, a granola bar, some juice that they could have in order. Can you imagine trying to understand what your teacher's teaching you when your stomach's growling? How do you feel when yours is growling and you're sitting in a meeting? Man, when are they going to finish so I can go get me some lunch?
You said what? Oh, yeah, no, I didn't hear that.
So put that in a child.
Mm.
Put that into a child who cannot, they don't know how to filter things. They just say what's on their mind.
Right.
And that's a need that has to be met.
And that, as far as the food side of it, that was very important. Because I worked with a company. I did some volunteering work with a company here that makes sure children have food, because one of the things a lot of people take for granted is breakfast, lunch, and dinner. A lot of people take it for granted. I'm going to get up, I'm gonna either have cereal, I'm going to scramble some my favorite breakfast is eggs and rice, so there's that. I'm going to get up and have some eggs and rice, but it's a lot of children who go to school who not going to have breakfast unless they're at school. They're not going to have lunch unless they're at school. And sometimes they don't have dinner. And so what you talking about, making sure these people eat, that's very important because a lot of people don't know that it's real.
It is very real. Very real.
It is real.
My husband's always guilty. He says, when I would go home after a day, he says, how was your day? And I says, well, so-and-so didn't have this or so-and-so didn't have that. He says, go get it for him.
Mm.
You know, it may have been a pair of pants. And, you know, we found, and not just myself, but then my colleagues, you know, I used to sew some, and we had a little girl that needed a white dress. We made her a white dress so that she could have for, I don't know, I think she was the Mayday Queen at that time. She needed a white dress. What did we do? We went and we made her a dress. We got her some white shoes. We did.
That's that village. That's that village. I was told, and I don't know how true this is, but I was told that teachers remember two students. They remember the really good students and they remember the really bad students. Now, I happen to fall in the middle because I was on nobody excellent team, but I was on nobody's garbage team. I was in the middle. I just kind of like, oh yeah, that's Ricky. I forgot about, you know, that type. So is that true? Do you remember mainly the students that the good and the bad, or do you remember?
I try to remember all of them. It may take me a moment, and if they come up to me and they approach me, Miss Adams, you remember me? I says, your face, I do remember. But give me your name, and then it will come back to me. And to me, all my students were good. They were children.
Yeah,
we were children. Someone had to tolerate us.
Man, listen.
So these are children.
Yeah.
Children do what children do.
Yeah.
And you can't expect anything different from them. Some things you don't want, but hey, is what is from their environment. But for the most part, children are going to be children.
Yeah. Yeah. So you grew up in Savannah, born and raised here?
Yes.
Okay. What school did you go to?
Okay, let me be sure not to tell my age.
21 works.
Always. No, I'm plenty nine, so okay.
Plenty nine?
Plenty nine.
I like it.
Plenty nine.
I like it.
I started school, Paulson Street School. You wouldn't know that. You wouldn't know it. It was where I attended. It was one Soldier Field. You may not know that. That's where the school was, but I went to Spencer until they built Hubert. Okay. Hubert started out as an elementary middle school.
Okay.
And after I left Spencer for 1 year, I went to Hubert, where I stayed for all of my elementary years and all of my middle grade years.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. From there, then I went to Savannah High. That's when.
That's a high school?
Savannah High?
Yeah.
The one that was on Washington Avenue. Yes, funny.
Yes. I went to the other place.
Yeah, you went to the other one.
See?
I went to the real one.
No, not the other building. I went to the high school. I went to the beach.
You went. Oh well, that's okay. I ain't mad at you. Everyone had to go somewhere. and at that time, it all depended on where you lived.
That street stuff again, yeah.
Yeah, street stuff will get you. Now, my brothers, they went to Johnson.
That's a high school?
Yes. Yes. But my mom did not want me to go to Johnson.
Yeah.
That's when the integration started. And it was different. It was, fortunately, I had I had family and I had friends there that we kind of bonded and we kind of stuck together, watched out for each other. But we made it through. In our 4 years at there, we made it through and we graduated. We weren't honor grads or anything. And we had to put up with some things, but be that as it is, we're still here.
Come on.
We're still here. We're called survivors.
Yeah.
And we survived. And there's some things I can recall that called them out to my husband once and told him, and he says, "Are you serious?" I said, "He went to private school now. He went to Pius."
Right.
But he says, "Are you kidding?"
Is it a story that you could tell us?
Can I do it without calling names?
Please.
Okay. Yes, one student was there that's very prominent here in Savannah now. He would see me. In fact, we walked out Atlantic Avenue because we could walk from Atlantic Avenue from all the way from Gwinnett Street
down
all the way down to
Washington
Avenue. We pick up students, classmates all along the way. And we walked there every day. And as we got to our street, we just branched off. And after we graduated, guess when my husband and I got married back in 99, I came across this person again. And I said, and I knew who he was, but he didn't remember me.
Right.
And I was telling my husband, I says, we passed his house every day walking to school. He says, really? I says, yes. I said, he never spoke to me. And now he has so much to say. But I says, I find that a little bit hard to digest. But, life as it is, I says, things come back full circle.
It comes back.
It will come back at you. I said, but it's okay. Yeah. God has a plan.
I'm telling you, the plan is huge. College?
Savannah State.
Okay.
Savannah State University,
cool.
Now University, Armstrong, Atlantic. I received my master's degree from, where did I go? I went to Cambridge College in Boston, Massachusetts, and I have an EDS, a school guidance counseling from
EDS.
Educational Specialist.
Okay.
And from Argosy University in Sarasota, Florida.
With that being said, you were still in school even after school. You were in school for a while. Man. So some of the curriculums and the different subjects that they had in school, even like when I was coming up, because like home ec and things like that, they took a lot of stuff out. And so I'm a firm believer that some stuff should, especially high school. For example, I think that they should have some kind of class that just focus on resumes, and because your next step is going to be, everybody's not going to go to college.
No.
Okay, full disclosure, I've been to college twice. First time to the concert, second time I went to pick up my cousin. So, so I don't really know if that count, but I did go, right? So, but I think that putting resumes together is very important for children to know. And understanding credit and finance is very important, because whether it's you go to college and or you go to a trade, you got to understand finance and income. You got to. So do you think that something like that would ever come back?
And since you brought that up, they had the home ec, now they call it consumer something. It's not called home economics anymore. They used to have with students could have a trade like brick masonry, auto mechanics.
I did heat and air.
Those are things that they took out of schools because they felt all students were going to college. All students are not college material. And it would be senseless and crazy to waste that kind of money to find out that this is not for me. When my hairdresser probably makes more money than I do. Someone, like you said, that can do finance and can teach children how to write a resume. You just need to know how to write and make sure your subjects and verbs agree, and show them how to write a resume, how to write their bio. One thing that they took out was cursive writing.
Oh my goodness. I meet so many adults, and I'll say, sign your name here and print here. And then they'll print, and then they'll print again. I was like, this is how I sign my name. Okay. Wow. And I feel like, personally, those things hurt us in a lot of ways. If I am applying for a job and it says print your name and sign your name, and I print my name both places, you as the employer is going to say, well, look like he's starting off by not following directions.
But then with our children, there's no one in the home that can teach them cursive writing. On the flip side of the other students, they have someone home that can teach them cursive writing. So they're at a disadvantage. So anytime I get the opportunity, I show them. I was teaching my children cursive writing. I was teaching my 5th graders how to write a check and balance a checkbook.
Come on.
Oh, absolutely. It's nothing worse than not having enough money in that checking account.
Or going to use that card.
And there's no money there and they decline.
I'm guilty.
That's,
I've been guilty of that.
but see, for a young person, you probably be embarrassed. They don't care. Say, oh, I thought I had some money in it.
Yeah,
but if you have not balanced your checkbook, if you have not made things match, okay, who did you write a check to? Did you write it in your checkbook?
And checks are almost obsolete.
They're almost obsolete.
Because everything is so digital. Everything is on your phone, which is a gift and a curse.
Yeah.
Because if somebody grab your phone, they got your life.
Yes.
They got your passwords. They got your credit card.
Yes.
Man.
Yes.
I remember I left my phone home one day, getting the car, going to work. And I'm like, I got to go 45 minutes back because I cannot live without my phone. Well, one is because work need to contact me, right? The
Absolutely.
other one is because I just have to check social media. It's a gift and a curse. Those
well,
things.
I like my phone that if something happens, I need to be able to call someone. I need to be able to dial 911. It's not for social media, but that's me.
Right.
I'm not a social media person. But if something happens, I need to have a way of letting my family know what's going on.
Yeah.
So everybody has their reason.
Excuse me. For me, one thing I find funny is sometimes I've been at different tables and even at my own table. Like we're in the garage and we have a table out there and a whole family's out there. Then you look and everybody's like this.
In a restaurant.
Restaurant. Everybody like this. I've seen people doing this. Eating, but still
on the phone.
Let's take this. Me and my wife did a couple times what we call, because I saw it in a movie or something. It's called unplugging. So one Saturday, we put the phones down, turn them off, never looked at the phone that whole. If whoever calls me, I'll just call them later. We got to unplug and kind of walk away from that sometimes.
Connect with family. That's bonding time to me. That's the one thing my husband and I, we ate dinner together. It was just the two of us and his mom before she passed away. Phones, they could not, mine was always on vibrate anyway. Right. Or I never knew where it was. He says, where's your phone? I said, I don't know. I was one that never kept up with it.
That's my wife. I'll bring her phone. Well, I don't need that.
I ditto. Yeah. I'm not angry with her. So, but and that's all children live for is those phones. Yeah. I want them to live for something more that's going to be meaningful. It's just, I know this is the digital age and it's a part of life, but at some point we need to disconnect from them.
And that also gives it in the bonding time too, but that also gives time for education. That also gives parents times to talk to the children to talk to their parents. And because in a lot of cases, I feel like people talk at each other while passing. Mm-hmm. They talk at each other versus talking to each other. Having
a meaningful conversation.
Meaningful conversations is the blueprint. So, any pets?
I do have a dog.
What kind of dog and what's the dog's name?
I have a Yorkie.
Okay.
She's 6
pounds.
That's
the big, huge...
Yes. Actually, she thinks she's a pit bull. She's 6 pounds, 2 ounces. Blonde. Her name is Joy.
Okay. A little Joy.
Yes, that's my Joy. That's my little Joy. She is funny. She thinks she's human. She thinks anytime I walk out the door to get in the car, she thinks she's supposed to. She thinks she should get to go. She knows when I says, "Okay, come on." Then she's ready.
Listen, they pick up quick. I have a Staffordshire Terrier, Miss Mocha, and when I move, she moves just like that. So I'm going to the front door, and I'll just say no, and she'll just kind of play the back. Then I'll leave. Or if I'm going to the front door, and I say, "Come on," she right there behind me, right up
on your tail.
And so we send her to class and we send her to school, And then between the training from me and my wife and my daughter and the school, and she just, if she was sitting here, I said chill, and she'll sit. So instead of teaching her sit, we taught her chill.
Mm-hmm.
Chill, she'll sit. I said relax, and she'll lay down.
They know.
Give me 5. She'll give you 5.
They know.
I said give me a kiss, and she'll lick. Like, but the crazy thing is, this is my wife's first dog ever in life. And my wife is 52. First dog ever in life. She never had a dog. She was always terrified. She was always so scared of dogs that when we got Mocha and she called her dad, it was like, Pops, I got a dog. He was like, you got a dog? If I had a nickel for every time that expression came when they was talking about my wife having a dog, I'd be filthy rich. So many. You got a dog?
Because they knew how scared she was of them.
Yeah.
I don't do big dogs. I'm kind of a little bit laid back now.
Yeah.
But with Joy, I can pick her up and go.
And just keep it moving, right?
And keep it moving.
She fit in your purse?
She won't stay in them anymore. Okay. I have. But everyone laughs at me and teases, says, because she has a stroller. She has a car seat.
Really?
She has clothes. And I says I've never had a dog. She actually lets me put bows in her hair, and she lets me put clothes on her. When I'm putting her shirt on, she'll stick that front paw right on in there. And then it says, okay, all right, let's go.
I put a sweater on Mocha, and she like, you want me to move now? Yeah, Mocha, you could. It's just to keep you warm while you outside.
How big is your dog?
She's probably here. She's 54 pounds. I got her up to 55 pounds. The vet says she weighed too much. Get her back down to 54. So she's 54 and she's not getting any bigger. Mm-hmm. She look like she'll do some damage. But she will lick the skin off you though. That's it.
And that's what she does. Joy does to everyone. I said she's going to bite your kneecap, bite you on the ankle. That's all she does. She'll bark now. She will, if she was here, she'd sit here in my lap.
Yeah.
As long as you're there and everyone's in their place, as long as you don't come near me, she's okay.
That's that protection.
She's okay.
She got big dog energy.
Yes, she is. I tell everybody she's a pit bull in practice.
So let's talk a little bit about what do you like to do for fun? Like if you vacation, where do you like the vacation?
Well, my husband, my first years ago, he took me to Aruba. Loved it. I love
Aruba, but I don't like the iguanas everywhere.
Oh, and that's a habit. That's their natural. You cannot do anything to them. You cannot kill them because it's a law. I'm okay as long as they're in their place. The ones that I don't like is the little ones that run the scurvy around your feet. So there doing breakfast, I was sitting with my feet in the chair while I ate. But other than that,
I was like this the whole time.
But I love the water is absolutely beautiful there.
It's a beautiful place. We enjoyed it. So Aruba, where else?
One day I would love to go to Rome.
That'd be pretty nice. The architectural stuff that's there is.
So that's my bucket list. But I'm mostly a homebody person. I just love being at home in the comfort of my home. I like spending time with family. I like spending time with friends. If we take a cruise together, I'm good.
You like cruising? Yeah.
Yes.
Where's your favorite place that you went to cruise, and who do you cruise with?
We did Royal.
I'm loyal to Royal.
Most places that we've gone has always been, I've been to Jamaica, been to the Bahamas. Went to the Bahamas this year. And it's beautiful.
I love it. Do you like to do jet skis and that type stuff and zip line or any of that?
I can sit on the sidelines and watch everybody else do that. Go right ahead. That's not on my bucket list.
I'll be right here when you guys get off
when
this
you return.
craziness.
I'll be sitting around. I'll hold your purse, bring it to me. Just go ahead, enjoy yourself. I'm good.
So this is a question that I like to ask people. What do you consider one of the greatest songs ever written?
Oh my gracious.
One of them. I know it's probably, you probably got a bunch of favorite, but what is one of the greatest songs ever written from your perspective?
I guess right now in my head is popping Whitney Houston, The Greatest Love of All.
Okay.
And I guess it goes back to me with children and the future of them, that how I can help them to become better students and better individuals in society, to be able to be productive citizens in this world, because it's going to take that.
So with that being said, even when it comes down to your music, you are showing selflessness. Even the music you want to listen to is pertaining to helping people, so that's cool. I think one of the greatest songs ever written is As by Stevie Wonder. As the robin. It's something about that song for me is, and the rosebuds blooming. I could listen to it all day. All right, so MLK event in Savannah, Georgia.
Yes.
Let's talk a little bit about that.
Okay.
Can you tell the people just a little bit of your role in the MLK event stuff that happens in Savannah?
Okay. I am the president of the MLK Observance Association, a position that I've held for the last 4 years. It's a wonderful organization. Everyone thinks that the parade is it. It's more to that than just the parade. The parade is a fundraiser that we use to support scholarships for children in school, for making things better for other organizations other than ourselves. One thing that we do have, everything that we do is centered around Dr. King. The day before the parade, we have a memorial worship where we invite all the ministers of the various churches to come out and be with us. And we recognize him for all his due diligence and what he's done for mankind. The next day we do have our parade, and we're hoping that whatever events we do have, that you will start to take part in it. We have about 9 of them. Another one that we have is our gospel worship, a gospel fest, where we invite different artists from, not necessarily artists, but gospel groups from churches and surrounding areas, individuals, groups, and we have a fabulous time at that time as well. We also have what we call the Unity Luncheon. It went from the men having a luncheon and then the women having one. We just combined the two now, where everyone meets together. We just have a glorious time. And we have a speaker for all these events. We do have something, an education and success career fair for our children, and which is really growing. We have vendors that come out, and we have individuals that come out and support us with those events. And one thing that we wanted, hopefully that we'll be able to put back in, is our Freedom Ball. Is when we just come together and just kind of let our hair down and just enjoy one another and just bond together and just have fun. So those are the events that we do. And we will have that calendar put out hopefully by next week, so that everyone can post it on your refrigerator like I do, to know what's coming up. And we would love to have you as a sponsor. So you can always go to our website, Celebrate ML King Savannah, and then consider being a sponsor for us.
What I found out once I started getting into being a part of the MLK events, what I found out is something that I didn't know. And everybody that I talk to when I'm talking about MLK event and the things that you and your team put together, these people didn't know this neither. I did not realize that, like you just said, it's not just about the MLK day or the day before, but I didn't realize that you guys do something every month of the year. It's something going on every month of the year pertaining to, I didn't know that until I got, and I was like, wow.
Yes, we try to spread it out a little bit so that everything's not bunched together within a short time frame. And with so many other events and going on with organizations, we wanted to make sure that love and that joy spread around, that everyone gets the opportunity. But yes, we do something almost every month.
Man, I didn't know. Like, I started looking at the calendar. I was like, April, June? He always doing something. And then that's just good information for people to have.
So yes, we will have our calendar of events. It is on our website right now, but we want to have something to put into the hands of the community, the churches, anyone who would like one.
It's important.
Absolutely. Because that's for those who need to know. And a lot of, like you said, there's so many who don't know, like our marshals. Do you all do this every year that we select our marshals and our trailblazers and our community activists, civil rights activists? Yes, every year.
That's cool. That's just constantly giving back.
Yes.
I want to double back a little bit to the school side of it. What was it that made you feel like, you know what? I want to teach. Was it something growing up, or was it just that, did you see something a particular day and you was like, okay, we need to do something?
Well, teaching was actually my second career.
What did we do first?
I worked for an insurance company, Liberty Mutual, in fact. But that company, when it was here in Savannah, they closed the office here, and I chose not to move to Atlanta. And someone at my church, Dr. Evelyn Dandy, who was a professor out at Armstrong Atlantic State University, saw me working with children in church as our youth department. And she says, and you need to go and teach. I says, Dr. Dandy, that's not something I want. She says, but you're doing it here, so you may as well get paid for it while you. So she convinced me to go back and get an education degree. And she says, you got the skills. You have the best classroom management I have ever seen, just by the way you look at the children, and you never raise your voice. I says, they get that at home. They didn't come to school for me to raise my voice at them. So I'm going to stand here and laugh at them. But I think someone else saw something in me that I didn't see in me. And I did. I went back to school, got that education degree, graduated, and started teaching. But it was never in my radar to teach.
What was the first grades that you taught?
Well, I did my student teaching in second grade, and I thought that was the grade that I liked. But I taught second grade. When I went up to fifth grade, my principal sent me to fifth grade. I said, I don't want it. Well, what she did is, I think my second grade class, little girl coming down the hall, teachers literally dragging her down the hall, screaming bloody murder. And I stepped to my door, and I told her, turn her loose. I'm taking her to the office. And I says, you go to the office, leave her here with me. So I took her. And I told I said, go lay down over there. I think she's a third or fourth grade. I said, go sit over there on the beanbag. I said, you go ahead to the office. She's fine. She's not going anywhere. And I don't know what happened because I just kept the little girl. But today, her mother has become one of my volunteers for the ML King. She says, Miss Adams, I just thank you. She calls me. And now she has a child in school. So, those are the things that those are my good memories. Even though she was giving the teachers holy HE double hockey sticks down in the fourth and fifth grade, I went there, the kids says, you're not our teacher. I says, you're all good, but you're not that good. Y'all ran the subs off. I'm not going anywhere. And I stayed there. And those children became the best students that I think I could have had. They protected me.
it goes back to what we talked about earlier, respect. They respected you.
They did.
Yeah.
Because they ran 2 or 3 subs off within a half a year. I says, y'all good, but y'all not that good.
I'm not that good.
I says, been there, did that. It didn't work for me. It's not gonna work for you. But you have to let them know and understand. I says, I understand where you're coming from. I says, you all did not have a permanent teacher here. And it's hard for you all to understand what's going on when today you might have one person, tomorrow you may have someone else.
Never really locking in.
Exactly.
And building a relationship.
Exactly.
A lot of times I think that's what it's about too. You know, students, we build relationships with the teachers, and in a lot of ways, I don't want to let Miss Adams down. I don't want to let Miss Adams down. So with that, I'll try to do better, at least around Miss Adams, because I don't want to let her down. I don't want her to see me acting crazy. So
because Miss Adams will come and pull you to the side and says, I didn't like that.
Man, and listen, a lot of times it's not the yelling and screaming, it's the feeling disappointed that I let you down, especially when you come, Ricky, I didn't like that. You disappointed. That I mean, they just go straight through the floor if they could. But Miss Adams, I says, we'll talk about it later. I says, let's just think about it. And you know, while they're having to think about it, it says, oh my gosh, she's gonna call my mom. She's gonna never do. I call parents. I says, the only time I'm gonna call you if I really, really need you. I says, but when they walk across my threshold, they become my child. I says, and I'm sending them back to you just the way you sent them to me. As a teacher, I know that it is some really difficult situations that you guys are put in. Just over the years and talking with parents, and my child don't know how to read, or my child don't know the ABCs, and the teacher not teaching them. I like to tell people that it's not the teacher's job to teach them. It's the teacher's job to help. So you got to be teaching these kids at home. You can't just send a blank canvas to school and expecting a Picasso to come back home. You got to kind of, when they get to you, certain things they should already know. And you will help guide them and help them excel. But certain things, so I'm sure over your years you ran into something.
And I think more so now than then. Because
Parents
we have so many of our parents are young parents. That they missed something in school. So even though we tell them that you are your child's first teacher, my niece, when she was expecting, we asked her what did she want. She wanted books. So she read to her daughter while she was carrying her. Now she just loves to read. But children have to see you doing certain things in order to want to do it themselves.
Yeah, because they want to mimic a lot.
They're going to mimic exactly what they see. Exactly what they see. So if you're not reading and talking things positive and at the dinner table or at home, they're not going to get it.
It's going to be new to them.
It's going to be very new to them.
What are you talking about?
So, and it's sad because we do have so many children who are unable to comprehend what they read because they struggle with the words.
Right.
And so if you missing so many words in a passage you're reading, you don't know you can't go back and tell me what you read.
I remember I was reading something and I was like, I know it's a V in there. I just don't know where the V goes. It's a V. Now that was a comedian made a joke about it. I just thought that was funny.
But it's, they're trying to pronounce the word or sound the word out. So you missed everything from the beginning of that sentence once you got to that word that you didn't know.
Yeah. So even with talking about reading, and then we go over into like music, they did a study. This was many years ago. I read this, and they took a class, and half of the class, they gave 2 paragraphs to learn. Other half of the class, they gave 2 songs to learn. They gave half of the paragraph half of the students one paragraph to memorize, and they gave the other half 2 songs to learn. The ones that had the 2 songs learned the 2 songs faster than they learned one paragraph. And so because I rap, people like to ask about that, and well, I don't understand rapping. And so what I explained to them is that the acronyms for rap is rhythm and poetry. And everybody teaches their children with rap music. And the lady was like, no. I said, it's not, it's rhythm and poetry. Like it's rhythm and that's how it's done. She was like, no. I said, how did you teach your children their ABCs?
Through a song.
Rhythm and poetry. Dun, dun, dun. They said the wrong alphabet sometimes, but they had the concept of the rhythm that it was supposed to go on. So that brings me to today's music. What do you think of the state of today's music?
A lot of it I don't understand. I listen to it, yes, because I need to understand. I need to know what the children are singing when they're walking down the hallway, or if they're in my classroom. I need to know what's going on. What words that are saying in there, so I can correct them. And I've heard them say, "There's a clean version." I said, "Well, we need to listen to the clean version." I always played some kind of music in my room, be it gospel. I've done classical. I've done R&B, and whatever they wanted to hear at the time. Christmas music. I said, what y'all want to listen to? It'd be the radio, or it may be a CD or something. And whatever they wanted to listen to, I let it play.
Yeah.
Because, as long as they're doing my work.
Connecting with them. Meeting them.
Yes.
Yeah.
It didn't bother me. I says, now, if I can't hear the music, that means we're too loud in here. And they're bringing voice levels down.
Yeah.
But you have to let them know, because I know the music teacher, one of my music teachers got angry with me because she wanted me to chastise one of my children that was in her class that did something. And I says, he did so and so and so. I says, and? Well, what you going to do about it? I said, he didn't do it to me. He did it to you. You figure out what you're going to do about it. Come on, guys, let's go. Walked my kids right on out. She went straight to the principal. I said, why should I punish him when it didn't even occur in my room?
Right.
And I had lessons. You want to listen to what you want to listen to. Listen to something that they wanted to listen to sometimes. There can be a happy medium. But if it's not, then they're gonna be your typical child.
They're gonna get bored,
Yes.
So on the topic of music, what do you listen to? So if like your playlist consists of, give me 5 songs.
Don't do that.
Give me 5 songs off your playlist, off a playlist that you have, or 5 songs that you.
Didn't you just hear me say I don't do social media, so I don't have a playlist? I just like gospel music.
Okay, so gospel.
I love gospel.
What?
No particular song. I just like them all because they all pertain to the one who loves me the most.
I love it. So I was scrolling online yesterday, and something that might be real cool for you to check out. I was on YouTube and I saw this choir in Tokyo, Japan. They were singing the song "Be Grateful." I don't know if you know it.
Mm-hmm.
Be grateful.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, they absolutely killed it. Whenever you get time, look up choir singing "Be Grateful," Tokyo, Japan.
Okay.
I was like, the whole time, I was like, man, I'm about to go to church right now. It was just real good energy. And our choir used to sing that song, so I know the song. And they put some respect on it. Yeah. So your gospel, James Cleveland, Kurt Franklin. What's the lady name? Yolanda Adams, that type, or?
I like all of them. I don't have no one particular artist that I lean towards. If it's good gospel, I'm okay. It's relaxing for me just to sit and listen to it and just block out a lot of Garbage.
The sound, the bad noise. Block out the bad noise. Man. So, tell the people how they can get in touch with you if anybody want to contact you about MLK or about just anything.
Okay, if you want to contact me, if you got a pencil and a sheet of paper handy, write my name, my number, and my email, and I will do this slowly. My name is Deborah. My last name is Adams. Doesn't matter how you spell Deborah, it all comes out Deborah. My email address is dadams54@bellsouth.net. My phone number is 912-663-2309. And please don't give my phone number to telemarketers, and we'll be good. So if you want to contact me, or you can go through our website and send me an email.
Where else but the Clever Conversations podcast would you have somebody with the power and strength of Miss Adams giving you her phone number to contact her? That's real, people. That's again showing selfless. I want to help. I'm not afraid to give you my number. Call me if you think I can help with something. That's just big.
Yes.
That's huge. So, Miss Adams, I want to first thank you for taking of your day and blessing us with your time. I also want to just let everybody know that please make sure that you guys contact Miss Adams and her team about the MLK events and any of the things they got going on. We can always use sponsorships. You can never have enough sponsorships because, again, it takes a village, and what the village is doing, it takes money.
Absolutely.
We like the kind that jangle, but we rather have the kind that fold. I heard that from movie too.
I know.
Boy, good. So listen, we like to end every episode by singing 2 fingers, 1 love. Peace, love.